What's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is how we run our leadership meetings. You see, I had this all backwards for so long, but we finally figured it out, so I'm gonna share it with you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, show us a little love. Thank you for being here. My name is Chris Chandler, the founder and CEO of Active Age Daytime Senior Care. And not too long ago, we came across a book, you may have heard of it, called Traction. And the guy that wrote it, I guess he's the founder of the EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System, right? So when we read the book, it was like all the lights were going off. Like, oh my gosh, like, why had I never heard of this before? Oh, there's a system for this? Because look, as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, a lot of times you don't have the systems, nor do you know how to develop the systems that you're gonna need to run your company successfully. And we struggled with this for a very long time, but when we came across EOS and we hired an EOS implementer and we learned what it was like to run weekly meetings, quarterly meetings, annual meetings, it really brought a much clearer picture as to what we need to do to run our organization more effectively. So that being said, I'm gonna get into how we run our meetings today. So essentially, this is what they call an L10 meeting, right? This is our weekly leadership meeting with our leadership team, and we follow this exact same format using a software to input all information that stores it, organizes it, and allows us to use it as a way to hold everyone on the team accountable. So that being said, the first 5 minutes we check in. We talk about one thing in our life that's going positive personally and one thing in our life that's going positively in business. Just kind of allows ourselves to set the tone of the meeting in a happy place. Then we move on to our rocks. In the rocks review, we don't necessarily create what they call rocks in this meeting, but we review the progress of our rocks. And for those that may not know, a rock is a project. It's something that you want to accomplish within your business, but it's gonna take a little time. It's not a project that you can knock out in a week. It's probably a project that's gonna take a month or 2 months. It might even take 3 months. So rocks are typically something you're working on, maybe a few hours each week, a few days each week to achieve over the course of a 1, 2, or 3 month period, right? Within that quarter. The goal is that you complete your rock at the end of the quarter, right? So in this portion of the meeting, we go through all of our rocks. We talk about, hey, are we on track to accomplish these rocks by the end of the quarter? Is there anything that's come up that we're not aware of that got us off track? And if we are off track, we talk about what can we do to get back on track. If there's something that we're off track and we need to discuss it as a team because maybe there's an issue that's like preventing us from achieving or completing this rock, then what we do is we don't talk about the issue during this period of time. We make a note and we add it to our issues list, which we cover later in the meeting. All right, we spend about 5 minutes on that. So typically it'll look like something like this. We're like, all right, I'm on track with this, I'm on track with this, I'm off track, but my plan is to get this caught up by next Friday on this date. And then we just go through these things really quickly. The goal is to be in and out of our rock section in 5 minutes. Then we move on to metrics, and metrics are things that we track on a weekly basis. Metrics are things that our leadership team, everyone has certain metrics assigned to them that they are responsible for, and they must hit those metrics on a weekly basis, right? So if we get to that page and someone hasn't hit their metrics, then we gotta be like, okay, well, what can we do in the next 7 or 10 days to, make up for the metric that we missed, and then also stay on track for the metrics this coming week. And so what that does is it allows us to achieve our goals that we've set for the year, for our 3-year period, for our quarter, whatever that might be, but the metrics hold us accountable to those things. Sometimes in order to get caught up on a metric in that 7 to 10 day period, it might force us to create a to-do, which we could add to our to-do list and put a due date on it where we know we need to have it accomplished by a certain period of time. The best part about this is that everyone can see everyone's to-dos, metrics, rocks. So the software system, the way it's built, the way it's structured, the way the EOS system works is by everyone being able to see these important items that are all important towards the common goal of the company. Is the meeting itself is where we hold each other accountable so we don't get off track and so we can achieve the things that we set out to achieve. Then we move on to our headlines section. And the headlines, these are just announcements. Hey, we got an event coming up next week. Hey, so-and-so is gonna be out on vacation. This thing came up. Hey, we're losing this individual. They're moving out of state. all of those things associated with like just announcements kind of go into the headline section, and it's just a way for us to get on the same page about where people are at, what's going on, changes that might be happening within the organization. Then we move on to our to-do section, and the to-do section, typically what we're doing is we're reviewing to-dos that are late, and we're trying to figure out why are they late and what can we do to get them completed within the next 7 days, right? To-dos might be another area where over time, whether it was during the rock section, whether it was during the metric sections, whether it was during the headline sections, something came up and we added new to-dos during this portion of the meeting. But the goal is we're trying to save the most time for our issue sections. And so a lot of times between rocks, metrics, headlines, and to-dos, we might come up with or discover issues that we need to talk about as a team, and we save them for this section. What happens at any period of time if we start going off on a tangent and we start talking about these issues in one of these other 4 sections, we got to call each other out and be like, hey, put it on the issues list. And the idea for this is that we can get through the important things that we need to get through, but that we can actually make 60 minutes of us, of solid time to review our current issues. And we may not be able to get through all of them, but when we get to the issue section, we now might have like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10. I mean, we might have a lot of issues, or things might be running smoothly, but depending on how that is, we're gonna score essentially like, okay, what's our top 3 issues? Let's address those in this meeting. So we kind of vote on what those top 3 issues are, and then we start working down that list. And the goal is, hey, if we can get through all 3 of those issues, great. If we only make it through one of the issues, because it just takes a lot of time to process that, we're talking, with the finance side of things, we're talking, about the operations side. How does that affect sales and marketing? We're getting everyone on the leadership team involved on that particular issue, so that hopefully when we leave the meeting, we've solved the problem or put a plan in place to solve the problem. So what's nice about that is now all of our meetings become super productive because we're actually solving problems within the meeting instead of just wasting everyone's time. So we leave there typically solving 1, 2, 3, or 4 issues, depending on how fast we can get through those issues. And then we wrap up with maybe the issue that we were talking about, presented us with a couple other to-dos to add to next week's agenda. So we might add those at that period of time, any last minute messages we need to share. And then we, ask everyone like, hey, how did we do this meeting? What could have been better? How do we rate this meeting? And are we getting better at, conducting this L10 meeting? Now, I'm telling you what, at first, running this meeting was so awkward, and it took a lot of time. It took a lot of like kind of reps, doing it, week after week after week. So over the course of maybe a 2-month period for us to finally feel comfortable and understand it. And then it took a little time, for the proof, to start to show up in the metrics, in our hours, in the things that we're tracking, where we're like, wow, this thing's actually working. Wow, we are accomplishing goals together. Wow, we're finishing projects that sometimes we would start and never complete because it's all in the system and we're holding everyone accountable. And we really started to see progress being made by running our meetings this way. And eventually everyone was bought in that like, yes, finally, we have a way to run our meetings. We have a way to keep the company aligned, keep the organization focused on the goal at hand. And it just makes everything run so much smoother. And for the first time in 10 plus years, I actually feel like we're in control of the future of the business. We have a grasp as a team on what's important, what we should be doing, and how to direct the company in the right direction. And the best part is we rotate who leads these meetings, which makes it so that everyone has the opportunity to truly lead a meeting. And then no matter what, if someone's out, if a key individual, is on vacation, is on a trip, is sick, no matter what, we continue to have these meetings. They can be run by anyone on our leadership team, and it keeps us on track. So that being said, guys, I know this was a little longer, and sometimes you might need that explanation. We implemented this back fully April of 2023. It has been a game changer, completely night and day. Black and white has completely reshaped the future of what we're doing. I hope you find it helpful. Make sure you read the book Traction, learn about EOS. There's a lot of educational videos on EOS. This is something that if you're just starting your business, or if you already own a business and you're already up and running, whether you're starting or you're already open, like just implement it. Get it into your business. If you need to hire someone to kind of show you how to do it, look into hiring an EOS implementer to come in and show you what a quarterly meeting looks like, what an L10 meeting looks like, what Pulse meetings look like, and then what your 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year meetings should look like. It is going to be a game changer. That being said, hey, if you wanna learn about how to open up your very own adult day center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like to join us for our free monthly webinars, you can sign up there. You can also join us for our, in our private Facebook group. And if you'd like a little one-on-one coaching, yours truly can help you out with that, adcpro.com/coach. And if you'd like to open your very own Active Age franchise, go to activeagecare.com/franchise. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click here. We'll see you guys next time.